Bobo, Aka, how are you? Hello, hello. Hello, good. How's things? Things are all right. Nothing special. I think there's some stuff we gotta talk about though. So I'm kind of tired today. I don't know why. I like woke up and I was already tired. But it's like I hate just laying in bed after waking up. So I was like, whatever. Even if I end up taking a nap later, I'll just wake up early. I don't know. I think I slept kind of weird. That's like the only weird thing, I guess. But Um, well, this is supposed to be a short stream because I have stuff to do, but there's a new abyss which I wanna fuck around with a little bit. We also gotta talk about a massive elephant in the room, but we'll get to that a little later. But I'm prepared to go off about it, I guess. Oh, I'm telling you though, this Hoyoverse company is gonna feel my wrath. Okay, like before I get into it completely later, like, dude, how do you not buff the one specific character that actually uses superconduct? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I feel a little offended, honestly. But don't ask me why I'm playing Florin. Florin is frozen. Like, what are we? It's a joke. Actually, I not like this moment. You know, when I saw that last night, I was actually in shock. Like, I went through all the characters, and I was like, "There's no way that like this has to be some sort of prank, right?" I wanna make it into like I wanna make my reaction to it like short though, so I'll hold off on it for a bit. But like, dude, something is going on in that company, and I don't like it. Anyone, did is this the is this a bit easy or what? I kind of want to see if I can play like Dea or like Chlorine in the Abyss, but last time it was just lunar crystallized shells, so it's kind of lame. Also, can you believe? Okay, well, nothing's confirmed yet, obviously, right? But dude, can you believe they're not running Eon-san with Malvika supposedly, and they're not running Chevy? I have no clue. I'm not holidaying, so I only log it on my phone for dailies and resin management. You know what? You're living a good life. I guess we'll find out what's up. But Ooh, this is I think that's the plan for today. It's not gonna be a super long stream. Well, it depends how long the Abyss takes me. Fuck it. Abyss now. Yeah, is it one of the new artifact sets good on Eula though? Okay, yeah, they released a new artifact set for Superconduct, which I assume is for Superconduct later. But they didn't buff the one character right now that exists in the game that would even use that set, so I'm so confused. They released this fucking huge ass, I think it's good, set for Superconduct. But they didn't buff the one character that exists in the game that would fucking use it, so I don't know what the point is. I'm so confused. What are they even doing, bro? I mean, you know, maybe there's a vision they have that I don't know about, but like I mean, it's kind of funny, I guess. Not really. But I have some tabs open, sort of, that we will get to after I do the Abyss, I guess. But I was gonna do the Abyss when it came out yesterday, but I've been kind of busy. Also, apparently, fucking Stream Elements is dying, so I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out what to do with all my alerts and stuff. That was very unwelcome news, I gotta be honest. What happened? Apparently the company that runs Stream Elements is selling their company. Or like is closing or something. So my entire like Twitter feed has just been a bunch of streamers trying to figure out what they're gonna do now for alerts, and I mean a lot of people take donations through Stream Elements Pay. Which I mean I don't, so it's not really relevant to me. So it's not that big of a deal to me. Because the only thing I really use Stream Elements for is like my chat overlay and also my alerts. Which, to be honest, it'll be a pain in the ass to set it up all again, but it's not like the end of the world. Some people like are completely dependent because like for some streams they have a shit ton of overlays, right? And like a bunch of funny little things happening on the screen, and like sometimes it's their entire stream gimmick. So I mean, at that point, I understand why people are freaking out. It's not like that big of a deal for me, but doing all that the first time in a like program or a thing that made it easy to do it was hard enough for me as it was. Or like it wasn't necessarily hard, it was kind of just a headache to get everything like set up perfectly. And then you're telling me I have to do it again, and that made me kind of sad. So I've been like looking at what I'm gonna do about that for like the past day or two, which is why I didn't stream yesterday either. So yeah, if in the coming days you see, or I guess not days, it'll probably like be a little bit until it actually matters. But in the coming days you see like a bunch of streams kind of change in style and stuff. That's probably why. It is kind of scary to think about though. Like your stream could be semi-dependent on a free service, and then the free service just decides to disappear. Kind of glad I never got super invested into this going crazy on stream elements, because some people have a lot of overlays for like everything. The one thing I haven't figured out yet actually is what I'm gonna do with like what bot I'm gonna use. Because if the stream elements bot dies, then I guess the OG is Nightbot, right? Let's go back to Nightbot. Who remembers? The thing about Clorinda is she has no interruption resistance. Or I mean, isn't Streamlabs tied with Stream Elements? Do you use OBS? No, Stream Elements and Streamlabs are two different things. Okay. Like, maybe it's sort of undeserved, but nobody likes Streamlabs. Unless you're very, like, new to streaming. Because then, like, you don't, I guess, you don't really know how bad Streamlabs is. Streamlabs is very inconvenient for streaming. But, like, not inconvenient, it's inefficient for streaming. It's convenient in some avenues, which is why people do use it. Stream Elements is different from Streamlabs. Streamlabs is, like, more of a holistic streaming thing. And then there's OBS, and then there's Streamlabs OBS, which is OBS that comes with Streamlabs in it. So you don't have to like do all the outside integration. I shouldn't appreciate it original. I remember a lot of people used to use Streamlabs until they found out like Stream Elements was kind of shit, like both morally and as a product. So people switched over to Stream Elements more and more. And then now Stream Elements is fucking... I don't know, there have been rumors that there are like companies trying to buy out Stream Elements so they can continue to exist. Like, I don't really know how much faith I'm putting into that. I am just looking at things to do, I suppose. Kind of something a pain in the ass for me to figure out, but I don't know. It's been a weird week for. Like apparently also on like YouTube, the shorts algorithm has been fucked. So if you uploaded shorts like the last 2-3 days, it just kneecaps all the views on all your shorts or something. I haven't been able to upload anything that I've made for a while. It's been a weird week for. It's okay though. I'm having fun. That's all that matters. Oh, there's another fucking child over there. I missed the child. Okay, well actually, that sounds kind of weird. Don't take it that way, but. Okay, let's look at this. I haven't looked at this yet. Floor 12 divergence. Is this going to make my life difficult? Super heavy Land Rover mechanized fortress. Okay. That's like pyro, I think. Okay. This is gonna be a problem. Lord of the Hidden Depths, Whisperer of Nightmares. Oh, you can go fuck yours. Battle Hardened Grounded Geoshroom? Oh, nah. Hexadecatonic Battle Hardened Mandragora. You can go fuck right off. You... I mean... Okay, I don't know how bad this is, really. I assume you're just meant to play Lunar Bloom in this side, which I can do. I don't know what else you're supposed to play besides that, though. I don't really know if this board's ooh, I think this board's not like this. But it's so ass. Okay, like this is just... It's just not cry stuff, right? So like you can kind of deal with that. This is just pyro, sort of. So you can like these are pretty versatile, and then you get to this, and it's like, okay, well, Primo Geo Vishap, like Ruin Drake doesn't feel that bad, but that Chamber 2 boss, the Chronicle one, what is the bat? I don't remember this boss. Other than... It's a Geo Shroom, so when hit by Electro or Pyro, the ground it activates. Oh, wait. Do I remember this? Chamber 2. Yeah, is this the Chronic one? I don't remember. You need Electro and Pyro, I think. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, there is a local legend for this. I don't think it's that big of an issue, whatever did you play here. It does have Dendro resistance though, which is kind of weird. Okay, it's kind of weird that it has Dendro resistance and Geo resistance. Okay, Geo resistance makes sense because it's a Geo mom. I don't know why it has Dendro resistance considering this is a Lunar Bloom chill side. It's kind of just weird. But okay, this one, dude, I really wanted to play Chlorind on the side. I mean, maybe I still can. You never know. Okay, I'm going to make this difficult for myself and try to play Chlorind here because I want to. Just to limit test myself. My Chlorind's weapon is the free to play Finale the Deep, which is R3, so it's not even maxed. My Chevy is my Chevy is C3, so she basically sorry, not uses. She loses like half her effectiveness. My Eonson is C4, so she also loses like 30% of her effectiveness. And okay, Malvika's broken, so whatever. Second half, I'm probably just playing Lunar Bloom. Sorry, like I don't. This shit is. There's nothing I can do about this side. The fucking crab torments me on a daily basis. If I don't play Lunar Bloom, so it is what it is. Okay, how difficult is this? I just don't play Arlecchino. I'm curious. Oh my god, his health bar does not fucking move. Wait, just look at his health bar. Wait, why doesn't it move? Hello? I mean, okay, maybe when I fill up the bar, it'll be better. Wait, it's like moving a little bit. Wait, hold. This I feel like this cannot go well at all. Wait, we're making progress. Okay, honestly, this is more akin to like the normal run you see. Why did he just gain? Wait, why did he just get a cryo shield? Oh wait, it actually doesn't look that bad. Hold on. Okay, I've had to go through way too many rotations for this, I gotta be honest. Bars back to full, lovely. You know, a minute 30 for this is not that bad, all things considered. Not that bad. Oh, you fucking loser. Where'd he go? Wrong order, but whatever. Necessary, but just finish off here. Fuck it. Okay. first chamber, not bad. That was like arguably the easiest one though, so I don't know how I feel about this, but W so far. It's gonna be such a pain in the ass though if I get to chamber 3 and this team cannot clear the fucking mushroom, and I feel like it won't be able to. Now that I think about it, I think my Arlecchino can clear the mushroom without Venti, because the raw damage output of that team, I think, just can ignore the mechanic of that boss, but I don't think this washed-ass Chlorine team can do it. I'm curious, though. Wait, Electro Sisson Mage? What the hell? What is she doing here? Oh, it auto-targets the flies? You can't be serious. She's flying! Okay, 30 seconds for this, I guess, isn't that bad. Oh, Yo Bishop? Not a shield for this. I'm gonna be honest, I think my Malvika does more damage to this team than my Chlorine does. Okay, I got a shield, if that helps. Ah, that's not good. I should Malvika E first, and then go into Yonsan. It's like 2 more rotations, I think. That is really bad. What? Actually, maybe it's good. Bang. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, what does this guy even do? I'm curious. Why would they add this in a Dendro Lunar Shill sock? Oh, it's because he goes back to like a weakened state, I guess, if you do it. Sure, I guess. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I think. Nice. Okay, this is kind of like a Nefer carry job, but I think if I clear this with Chlorine, it's enough of a handicap where I think it warrants some Okay, this just cannot go well though. The more I look at this boss, like it can't be good. Oh, Death Guardian for you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh. Oh, this boss is gonna be a pain, I can already tell. At the Genshin, I'm enjoying the Genshin, I think. I don't know, the last week right before like a new patch is always kinda dead, so just getting perma interrupted. That just made me really like. Am I playing a new gacha yesterday? Ooh, what gacha? So many new gachas coming out recently, I feel like. NTE came out too. A lot of people played that. Okay, this one might be scuffed. Ah, this one is just not. I do this last part in like the time I have. I knew it came out last year. Oh, just started a new gacha. Playing it. I get you. I might have not crit also. This is really scuffed. It's not even funny. I don't think I can do this next set in like 25 seconds. That's not. There's a Rune Grader too? Definitely not. Must be the most or second most free-to-play friendly gacha. That's good. Yo, what's up, Sadcon? How are you? That's 3 pity systems? What do you even do with 3 pity systems? Yeah, how do you even get so many? I just play this Abyss? Yeah, I can see why. This Abyss, like, is good in some parts, and then, like, seems like a real big pain in the ass in some of the other ones. So I can see why. Yeah, it's a llama never check. I could clear this Abyss pretty easily if I just use my Arlecchino, but like. But I want to see if I can clear it with Chlorine, because I've been kind of wanting to make Chlorine work for a while, and this Abyss seems like one where I can. Yeah, the crab has always been a llama never check, just kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, that's not good though. That's really bad. I think one more rotation should do it. Just chill, but the time is still really bad. Maybe it's doable in 40 seconds. But probably not. After it is 3% with Heart Pity at 120. 3% is pretty hot. Dang. Genshin's like less than 1% or something, or close to 1%. Most games are. Split code with Skirk Premium, Nephrolama, Varka for Pyro. I think the biggest check for this Abyss is probably the last part, which is probably the most frustrating part, because the Shroom, you ideally want Venti or Kazuha, and if you don't have either of those, you need like super strong Pyro carry, which is like Snowy. Oh my god, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the raid. Hope everybody's doing well. What were you guys up to? I think I saw you doing some like art earlier though. Everybody, thank you for the follow. Tyler Burger and Fries. Oh my god, I can't keep up. There's too many messages. Oh, I don't have exclamation mark advantage enabled. Sorry. Sexy ass roars. Appreciate it. Shift at midnight, then art. Oh, shift at midnight like a horror game? It's like a horror game. I'm getting exposed? No, it's okay. We're accepting of everybody here. It's okay to be a little freaky. I do not have enough time to do this. Close though. I got 30 seconds delay, so I might have slow responses. No worries, no worries. Snowy playing a horror game? That sounds kind of funny, actually. Snowy's such a good artist, by the way. She did some of the emotes on the channel very graciously. I'm like kind of. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I'm a scuff streamer, so I don't know how to do the thing, but please go follow her and stuff. Everything on my stream is broken. I'm sorry. But if you're from my stream, please go check her out. She's very cool. Kind of embarrassing. I should probably figure out how to do that. Yeah. If you need a raid and run, don't be afraid to. Okay. A shout out. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. I don't have this. Oh, not locked in right now. Oh. There we go. Holy fuck. Alright, I'm just this Genshin like spiral of this shit is kind of beating my ass. Oh, my monitor connected to my bed. Dude, I get it though. Stream delay on phone is kind of annoying. But it's like, it's so much more comfortable to watch streams on your phone and stuff too, isn't it? It might be a little too hard, I don't know. Yeah, never call me an expert at this game. Just saying. I'm like semi-informational. Oops. So the worst part about it is when you eat them, the little mushrooms go fly. So if you don't one-shot them, it's just a super big pain in the ass. Can I do this in 1:30? I don't think I can. Why do I just have to redo it? This sucks. If I have more damage, maybe. I missed my E, by the way. Don't look at it. Reddit Doom School, I'll keep you on multiplayer. No, just okay. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Doom School. I do that too pretty often. Oh, that's something I should admit though. Yeah, this run is a little scuffed. Also, where did all the mushrooms go? Oh, it's because he has no health. Bro, this clear is pissing me off. Okay, well I guess we're just gonna have to run it back with Arlecchino. I don't think it really warrants. If it didn't have Linnea, I think I'd be gone. Yeah. This one does not really seem to be very friendly, if that makes sense. Then you have to like wait for all the little mushrooms to come down and do this. Like, okay, this one would only take me like a minute if I actually did it, but if my Chlorine like team had more cons and stuff, I think I'd be able to do it, but I just don't have to. Yeah, I just don't have enough like investment into that team for me to make it work. That's clear normally. I had a breaking shield for the wolf. I insta one tapped it. Oh yeah, you have a C6 Linnea, I think, right? Something like that. All right, let's run the real team now, shall we? It feels kind of weird to think about the fact that I have a top 1% Arlecchino. Considering there are like millions of people with Arlecchino. Like I feel like I haven't even gotten that lucky with the with my rolls, but maybe I'm just being like disingenuous. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I don't have like super high pyro app on this team. This might take me a while. Well, that being said, this guy has like insane pyro res, but I'm still kind of not doing that damage. It's just 4 people at the gym and all 4 of them using the machines I want to use. Being targeted. They're intentionally like staking you out. How much damage do I do to the shield, by the way? I'm kind of curious. Oh my god. Yeah, that took me way too long, but it's just I don't know why cryo shields, like shields in general have this game have like a damage tick time. My Arlecchino does damage to it like once every 5 autos because of it. I don't know. Yeah, Script Premium is probably fine for it. It just has really high power res. For just res in general. It's the god. Chilling, I think. Okay, low key, there's no Hydro app for the Lunar Boom, but it's okay. I always feel like weird just clearing everything with Arlecchino. I mean that's the reason why I have her invested. I feel like she's pretty versatile, but I wanna. Like, is this build relatable? To be honest, this build's not really relatable, is it? Like I mean, this is kind of a lot of damage actually. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Also, I kind of don't completely know what this fucking mushroom does. Still waiting for Colin BW run. It's probably soon. Oh, I just like for some reason that reminded me of the buffs coming next patch or whatever again, and I just got tilted. Oh, how can they not buff Eula, man? It's over with, man. I missed the buff, but we don't worry about this. The people getting buffed is not going to be insanely significant. Well, we don't actually know. Just like why I'm saying it. Oh, I fucked this, by the way. Let's see. Like Diana, okay. Well, the whole thing is that supposedly, what's supposed to happen is superconduct or stellar superconduct, if that ends up being real, is going to be really good, right? And then the characters are supposedly supposed to get buffs for that. Please don't go into your thing. Okay. Nice. It just doesn't make sense for Genshin to make the old characters more OP than newer characters because new characters always bring in more revenue. Well, that like depends, right? It's like, okay, the one thing about like gacha discourse and discourse about games in general for anything is that like people are always gonna assume things, and a lot of the time they're gonna be logical, but like sometimes things don't follow logic. You know what I mean? Like we can assume that, you know, buffing older characters is like kind of pointless, right? Because newer characters are always going to be better. But like, what if it's better for the game as a whole for that? You know. But also, it's like if you have a new reaction, but it's just unplayable with the majority of the cast, then like nobody's gonna play that reaction or pull for the characters that support them. You know what I mean? Like, let me think. Like, okay, for example, Sino, right? Sino's getting a buff. Nobody plays Sino right now as it is because Sino's not good. And he's pretty... okay, I don't know about boring, but he's pretty uncomfortable to play damage-wise and playstyle-wise. And he doesn't really have a really good team comp he fits into either. But then if you buff him and then you slot him into Superconductor, right? And you really like Sino, that makes all these Sino players, Sino is now more playable. and thus more investable. So if Sino reruns, you pull for Sino also. And then also, you really like Sino, and you have a really good and built Sino, you pull for the new Superconduct supports. So you can play Sino in his good team now. Superconduct, and they're going to get buffs for Superconduct, but even with the release of buffs for Hex, do you see any of the characters creep the top 5? Well, okay, well, you could debate Varka's technically top 5, but that's like a different story. It's like, do things need to be top 5 though? Is the real question I guess you need to ask? Like, the newer characters coming out are majority of the time always gonna be better, but not everyone wants to pull from meta. It's like the assumptions you can't really make, I think. Ooh, double crit energy recharge. It's on the wrong set though for me, honestly, but so it is like kind of, it's like one of those things that you can't fully know, in my opinion. Because it's like we don't have the stats for it, right? And to me, it makes sense that like a lot of people wouldn't invest in older characters just because Superconduct comes out and it might not be that good. But a lot of people are very happy, I think, generally when older characters become better and playable again. Because like me trying to play Chlorinde, for example, just now in the Abyss is like kind of an example of that. I really like Chlorinde, but she's just not that good. And I don't have her well enough invested, and she requires too much investment for her to be good, for her to be playable in the end game content I want to play her in. So, okay, even with Nicole in full C6R5 is still like number 5 or number 8. Okay, C6R5. Wait, this is also good though. Double crit. Okay, if we're assuming everyone is C6R5, then like yeah, but. But also, you have to think about what, like, DPS rankings mean in general, right? If, like, Varka is a top 10 DPS, right? He's like 8, 9, 10, wherever you want to put him. Like, how does that matter in the sense of, like, he's playable or not playable, right? If he can still comfortably clear, like, every endgame content up to Fearless Stygian, like, it doesn't matter whether he's number 1 or number 8, right? Okay, Varka is like pretty close to top 5. I don't think he's closer to top 5 than he is to top 10. I'm pretty sure. Especially with Nicole coming out. Nicole does a lot of heavy lifting in that team though. Okay, Varka's not that bad. He gets doom posted a lot because he's not as good as like the current shield characters really. But like he gets slandered a lot. And I don't even like Varka that much. I can't comfortably clear with him. He's so restricted by his team with the release of Nicole's besting his full 5 stars. I own Varka? Yeah, but... Okay, let's assume the baseline for like a main DPS character is C0R1, right? Like, I think that's pretty reasonable. If you like a character, the baseline is C0R1. It's like, okay. A lot of things you have to take into consideration here, right? Is the content you're trying to clear with the character like suitable, sufficient? That's one thing you have to look at it. It's like if I'm trying to clear like the Mandragora that I was just trying to clear with Chlorinde, it's like kind of not a good matchup. You know what I mean? Like without Venti, okay, well that one's more of a Venti check, so that's kind of different. But it's buffed if teammates have to be Mondstadt, Hex, Double Pyro, and an Emo. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't have to be Pyro. His best team just happened to be with Pyro because the Pyro characters for that team are OP. But I've seen him play like double Hydro, double Cryo. Like it's possible, definitely. And people have cleared like endgame with it. A lot of it is like optimization too. Like, are you using the right sets? Are you using the right weapon for the situation? Like, there's a lot of nuance to the builds that people don't know about, and realistically are kind of justified in not knowing about. Like, I saw somebody try to clear the Radiant Moongecko before. Like, without Linnea, right? Which is totally doable because, I mean, for one, I did it, right? But it's like, okay, you go into this, you go into the full Zibai team without Linnea, and like, say you played it like me and you played Zhongli, right? Like, there are people who will try to brute force it, and like, they will have Columbina on Silken Moon and also Eluga on Silken Moon, and then Zhongli's on like Millith because that's his most recommended, and then people assume that it can't clear. Like there's a lot of nuance to things, especially if you want to clear super endgame in Genshin that you have to take into account. Like I swap out my circlet on Columbina for a healing bonus once I bypass the debuff, right? That's like a lot of people didn't consider that either and said like you couldn't do this without Linnea. And sure, it's difficult, but like I don't think I'm that good of a player in this game, and like there are ways to work around things. I think that doesn't make sense with Silken. Why run two people with Silken? Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying exactly. But like some people do that because, you know, when you look at like the recommendations in game or like a build guide online, it says most recommended for Columbina and most recommended for Eluga are both Silken Moon, right? So you just slap Silken on both of them. Even like, okay, when it comes to games, also people just don't like to read, and I understand why, which is why sometimes I do the reading for people and I try to convey it on my stream when people ask. But like, it's like a little disingenuous to say like certain teams can't clear things like unless you have X or Y, but like you didn't even try to see if that's true or not. Because like low key initially when the Radiant Moongecko came out, I thought you couldn't really do it with Linnea either, and then I watched some other people clear it. It's like your example with Varka is like, okay, in some scenarios, I think Varka does feel ass, right? Like I don't have him personally, but from the clears I've seen and like the research I've done for Varka, because I think he's still a relevant character for me to keep tabs on. Like I think Varka does feel ass in some scenarios, but so does like a majority of the characters in this game. Besides, okay, the only exceptions to that really are, in my opinion, I think Nefer is like weird. I think Nefer is such a high DPS team that I think I can include the Nefer team. Like Nefer, Flynn's, Zibai, I think a majority like Malvika is like a criminal case because there's so much skill expression in the Malvika team that like a very inexperienced and casual player might not be able to clear any content with the Malvika melt team, but a very experienced player can clear like literally every content in this game with the Malvika team because that's how versatile the team is. But it requires so much skill and experience that it's literally a hands dip and also a build dip. But it goes unclearable and dire without Zibai and Linnea. Okay, dire is not the baseline for anything in this game. Like 99% of players who play Genshin Impact cannot clear dire, so that's like completely different. And the expectation is that like the average player cannot clear dire, right? I mean, the average player doesn't clear Fearless either, but I think the Fearless is like the baseline for endgame content for people who actually like are semi-serious about the game or like care about the meta, let me say. Can't clear dire without cons? Okay, you can clear dire without cons because people make that a challenge every patch, but like I definitely do agree that you can't clear Dire without its shield team. Like 99% of the time, there are very few exceptions to it. But it's like, okay, is Varka bad? Definitely not. Is Varka good? He's good. Is he like within the Flynn's Nefer, Malvika, like Zibai team where they can just brute force every single piece of content? No, I don't think so. I think he has good matchups and he has bad matchups, right? And that's how the majority. Okay, let's be clear here. Varka is, I think, a well-designed character. Zibai, Nefer, Flynn's, and Malvika are not very well-designed characters in the sense of how they fit in this game, like gameplay-wise. You should not be able to brute force every single like piece of content in this game with a single character. I just don't think that's how this game is designed and should be designed realistically. Just because like this is a character roster game where you're supposed to build different teams for different things, you know? Yeah, unless you want to be absolutely sweaty with absolute perfect rotations. Well, that's kind of the point, right? Dire is either a sweat check, like absolute mechanics to the limit check, or it's a constellation check. And you have to choose either. Dire is not meant to be cleared normally. That's like the entire idea behind Dire and like all the content in these other games, like that's super high investment focused, is so that the people who spend a shit ton of money on this game have something to do. Okay, that's the wrong team, but very tough clear, even though I ran C6, Churi, Linnea, Combina, Iluga. Okay, C6 Churi actually makes sense, but honestly, I don't even think that team goes that crazy. Actually, C6 Linnea. Chiori is more of a sub DPS. I mean, she becomes a main DPS at C6, I guess. Okay, I don't really know enough about C6 Chiori to say that definitively. But... also, it's like, okay, are you playing it like totally flawlessly? Like probably not. Are you? This piece is good. Not a lot of pieces to roll, huh? Like number 10 or 11 DPS in the game. Okay, I think DPS rankings. This is like a common trend I've noticed. So like this isn't just a you thing, but people take a lot of like. People place a lot of emphasis on like the whole DPS rankings thing, which is both a good and a bad thing because it makes like the power level and like the overall like common knowledge, I guess if you want to call it that, behind like the meta of the game more accessible to the average player. But it's like, okay, in Stygian, you start with 0 energy, right? So that can completely throw off all DPS rankings because like some teams function better without ults and some do, right? Sorry, bursts, if you want to use Genshin terminology. But also, that's like, I mean, I've said this before multiple times, but a lot of like rankings in games are purely theoretical and spreadsheet focused. Like under ideal conditions, under like XYZ conditions, right? And are very like straightforward, which a lot of the time aren't going to they're a good baseline for how much damage like realistically you do. But it's not like the law, if that makes sense. It's like why you have to try things to figure like for example, when I was clearing the Radiant Moon Gecko, right? There are teams that are on paper better than the ones I used to clear it, but I just couldn't. Because it's like maybe I'm not invested enough in them, or like maybe I just don't meet a ER requirement somewhere. It's like it's very. I don't know. Like don't take DPS power rankings as law really. As like what is supposed to be good and what it's so easy to fall into that trap. In my opinion, of like tier list, because that's what I used to do a lot too when I played a bunch of gacha games. Like falling into tier lists and stuff like that is really easy to do in this game, but it's okay to free think. And I know it might be exhausting and kind of like not worth it to free think in gacha games sometimes because you just want to turn your brain off. But if you're like a meta focused player, like experiment a little. It's okay, and you never know. You can make the game more fun. Like me swapping to a healing bonus Circa on Columbina and like retrying the Radiant Moon Gecko over and over. Like, was it a little painful? Yeah, but it felt so rewarding to beat a boss that most people can't, like, wouldn't be able to beat without Linnea. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't enjoy that type of gameplay too, that's totally fine. But, like, if you're meta focused, you know, it'd be worth, you know. ER is probably the most important stat. Well, okay, if we're talking like actually, crit is technically the most important stat, but ER is the most overlooked stat. That I agree with. And it is almost as important as crit. Obviously, you can have enough ER, but if you don't have enough crit, you just don't do any damage, right? So it kind of doesn't matter. Oh, you don't have a sustain? Well, yeah, because I don't have a Geo sustain for the Revive team. I don't have C6 Goro either. I don't have Shalonen. It's like, how am I supposed to clear this without a sustain, right? And the answer is Prototype Amber Columbina with Healing Bonus Circlet. Yes? What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, I don't know if I was meant to do that. Do I actually need to learn to funnel their particles? That is also true. A lot of people don't understand how energy works in this game, and rightfully so, because energy in this game is pretty confusing. Okay, and I didn't really know until I actually had to find out, because I couldn't clear some shit one time. And I had to figure out, like, how to clear things without needing to change my, like, artifacts, because I just couldn't. It is definitely weird because, okay, people play gacha games for all sorts of reasons, and just games in general too. Like, people play games for all sorts of reasons. But I think it's also one thing to complain about a game you play and not being able to play it the way you want to play it without actually, like, putting in the effort to want to play it that way. You know what I mean? Like, say for example, like a game like Valorant, right? Like, if I want to not be a liability in Valorant and, like, actually win games and perform well, like, I should probably hit some death matches, like, practice my aim a little bit, right? But, like, to not do that and then complain that you're always getting shit on in game, I feel like it's a little disingenuous. Like, you want to win games, but you don't want to put in the effort to win them, which is just weird to me. And it's okay if you don't, like, do any of that stuff because you just want to chill and, like, hang out with your friends, play Valorant, like, you know, just have fun. That's totally okay. I have no problem with anybody who does that. I think that's a pretty chill way. Holy fuck, there's so many chests. I think that's a totally fine and cool way to play the game, and I like playing like that sometimes too. Like, if you want to clear the high-end in-game content for this game, you should learn at least the basics of how the combat works, I think. Is this not the... Since when did this not... I swear this used to work. It does. What the fuck? Oh, character. It's pretty simple. Do a reaction or use E skill creates particle. Okay, well, there's a lot of nuance to that too. Like, I wish it was that straightforward, right? But like, you know, sometimes you proc fav, sometimes you don't. It's also another thing. Like, okay, I'm not the most skilled player. Like, I can't sit there and come up with like teams and rotations all on my own. Like, I just don't have it like that. I'm not a theory crafter like that, and I don't claim to be either. But it's one thing to be someone who does that, and then another thing to be able to watch other people do it and then understand, right? Like, if I don't know how to clear a certain level, like certain endgame content, it's one thing not to be able to like figure out a way to clear on my own, but it's another thing to be able to understand what other people are doing so I can copy their example and clear on my own, right? Fab do crit equals particles? Well, yeah, that, I mean, like, that assumes people read though. Which is unfortunately not always the case, but what can you do? But also there's an internal cooldown on how many, on when you produce energy particles. There's sometimes like variability in how much energy you produce. It's like, it's very complicated, and the average player will not know this. And it's not something I would expect them to know. But I think it's something that you have to learn, and shouldn't be upset about learning if you want to clear endgame content, is what I'm trying to say. And it's like that conversation of why do I have to sweat to like clear the content in this game is like is that really sweating? Is like that's, I don't really think that's sweating, is it? Like imagine like getting straight A's in school was considered sweating. Like that's not very realistic. Now obviously if you see gaming as purely a thing where you shouldn't have to think and shouldn't have to try hard at all to enjoy, then maybe I could understand why you see it that way. But then that also just stems from a point of misunderstanding where it's like you're assuming that everyone has fun the same way you have fun, right? Like I have fun getting better at things and improving, and like things I enjoy doing. So like if I actively seek out like improvement and ways to get better, and like I practice things, does that make me like, sweat or try hard? I mean, sure. But Genshin is a mechanical game. Learn mechanics become better. Yeah, like pretty much. I mean, realistically, my only problem is with the people who like really care about wanting to clear like Stygian Fearless, for example, but don't want to put in the work to like understand the game. It's like wanting to get straight A's in math class, but not actually paying attention to any of the lessons, and then like being confused why your grades are so bad. Like, yeah, believe it or not, you have to study to get good grades. I mean, okay, some people are just naturally gifted, right? Like every like 1 in a millionth person is naturally gifted, but you know. Like, I'm not gonna pretend I'd read every mechanic in this game either. And sometimes I don't have to, because the boss isn't that hard. But everyone plays the game for their own reasons. That's why, like, when people ask me, like, hey, I can't do this, or I don't want to do that, like, you want to do this for me, or can you help me with this? Like, I'm totally fine with doing it. Because I understand that, you know, not everybody wants to put in the effort of the time for a game like that. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to have your own beliefs and values and ideas, but it's like it only becomes problematic when you try to like force that on other people as gospel. You get me? That is kind of weird. That's a very like a long-winded rant about Genshin mechanics, but not putting in effort. How do you expect to get a good result in reflection? Yeah, pretty much. Now you could argue, okay, like going back to the whole Varka thing, right? So we don't get too off topic. It's like, does Varka require more effort to get value out of than like all these other top characters? Yes, but it's like that's like the issue with power creep in general, is that a lot of your old characters, while they are good like baseline, don't feel that way because of the very few who are at the forefront. Like it's kind of how having like LeBron on your basketball team back in like his prime was kind of unfair. But you like still had an all-star on your team. Like that player on your team is still really good. And like he's a really good basketball player. But then you have fucking LeBron James. And like he's just built different. Like Zibai is fucking the LeBron of Genshin right now. Does not mean that everyone can or has to be LeBron. You get me? I don't know if that analogy makes sense. Like even if you don't really care about basketball, but it's like I really wish they didn't make characters like Malvika and then like Zibai and Nefer and Mama, because I don't think it makes the game less fun and less like creative. But the amount of investment you need to put Varka to get a good result, ratio is so off. Balance Flynn Zubai takes so less investment, still does more damage. Yeah, but like that's not the fault of Varka, right? That's like the fault of all these other characters that are coming out, which is unfortunate. This thing just not work. What am I supposed to do about this other one? I'm a little dench. Dent in my head a little bit. What the? The chest in 60 seconds? Wait, where? When was the last time anybody asked for it? Does anybody actually like these invisible platform fucking puzzles? I'm not convinced. This is kind of anxiety inducing, if I'm being honest. I mean, that wasn't so bad, I guess. It is the fault of Varka because Hoyo came out with Varka, made his kit so limited, made other characters easier and better. If only Hoyo made Varka better. I get what you're saying, but like I don't think that's exactly the point I was trying to make. The point I'm trying to make more so is the fact that Varka is the type of character that you want more of. It's like, yes, can you say... Oh, this is gonna be such a pain in the ass, by the way. Like, yes, is Varka not that good compared to like all these other characters coming out? Yes, but how are you supposed to do this? But Varka is the character you want more of. So that's what you should encourage, and like that's what you should be like. I think. Granted, a lot of people like Zibai and Flynn's and Nefer in the sense that it's very easy to just build and play them because they're so straightforward, right? Like there's no nuance to them. It's just like they have very clear teams, very relatively easy to play, high damage. But I don't like them as a basis of meta. Well, it like depends. Like, do you want a healthy meta though? Is like the question you have to ask yourself then. And there's no like right answer to it. Because then what happens when you get like characters like Flynn's and Nefer and Zibai and all that is you get like a power creep race where essentially you're always chasing like higher DPS. And then like it's impossible for older characters to keep up, which is not something you ever really want. So like, it feels counterintuitive to say that like Varka is not to blame. Like you should be blaming it's Hoyo for releasing Zibai, Flynn's, and Nefer instead, because those are the good characters and like to some people the fun characters because they're good, right? But is that good for the health of the game overall? Like from a gameplay standpoint, probably not. Because then it creates an arms race of like these characters need to be better. Like every new character that comes out always has to be better, and then if they're not, they're just not good. And like nobody should pull for them. Which is why I really like Varka from a gameplay standpoint, because I think he has very clear restrictions and like use case scenarios where he's good, but like in some cases he could be bad. And I think that allows like players to pull for who they want like selectively. And like if they have holes in their account from a meta standpoint, you can pull for certain characters too. I don't think people should feel forced to pull for characters just because otherwise their account no longer can output the amount of DPS required to clear content. Like at a sustainable level. Now, okay, this entire conversation though is kind of very, I would say moderately above the average like player base's viewing point. So I'm gonna be honest, like 90% of players, yeah, maybe not 90, but like the average player who plays Genshin doesn't care about this conversation. They see Varka, they like Varka, they pull Varka. That's like the most relaxing way to play this game. But the people who engage in like online discourse, like Twitter, Instagram, shit like that, a little different. What's this fucking chest? It's up here? Where though? Oh, it's up here. Armor chest. Wait, I see it. I see the number 6-7. People complain about they can't clear endgame and they just say they pull for who they like. Yeah, if you... Okay, there's like a balance for that though. Like there's a pretty reasonable balance, I would say, where you should be expected to clear a level of endgame content considering like if you're well invested enough without having to pull for like the meta character every single pack, right? Which is why I don't really like the fact that Skirk needs Escoffier or like Nefer needs Loma, right? Because I think you should not be forced to pull for every character, like to make characters work. However, that is kind of just the way the game is now, so there's nothing you can really do about that. But and then like it gets a lot more egregious when you have to start pulling like multiple 5 stars for one team, like not just one or even two. then that's a little disgusting. But yeah, I was gonna say we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but we kind of already are at that bridge, so. Well, I got no defense there for that. Okay, before I continue yapping, I was gonna do this earlier, but I need to briefly talk about some news, some Genshin news that came out yesterday. Second. There was. No, that still doesn't make sense. Mechanics must evolve that like accommodating for old characters when they're releasing new ones. Okay, I think your point about mechanics evolving is definitely valid. And I think the beauty of Genshin in general is that reactions are the thing that evolves with in a combat sense, and not like specifically character kits. So if you evolve like reactions in your character kits, you can essentially adjust the power level of a character. So that I agree with. But it's weird, right? Because then if you like gate specific characters or specific things to certain characters, then it becomes a little iffy, right? It's like making Hyper Bloom better than Lunar Bloom. No, it's okay. Like I'm fine with Lunar Bloom being better than Hyper Bloom, but I'm not fine with the accessibility of Lunar Bloom. If that makes sense. I think Lunar Bloom is an upgraded version of like Bloom and also sort of Hyper Bloom. It's not really the same thing, but sort of. And I think it's fine that Lunar Bloom is better than Hyper Bloom because it is in a sense more restrictive. But I don't think it's okay how restrictive getting to Lunar Bloom is, in the sense that there are essentially like only 3 or 4 characters in the game that can trigger it, which is why the whole new superconducting is so interesting to me. Because okay, let me get to this because I said I was gonna get to this earlier. This was like kind of the whole reason I started stream today, in a way. But so there was a tweet that Genshin made yesterday, and if you look at it, there is a ball, which I assume is with like Nicole and stuff. But more importantly, supposedly this shows who is getting buffed next patch, I assuming, or in the future. And like each ball has like sort of like a constellation thingy inside it, or like something related to a character. So this one was for Beidou, this one was for Chi-Chi, this one was for Risley, this one was for Sino, this one's for Mizuki, Diona, and Yaemiko. And, you know, these are all for Electro/Cryo characters, which I assume is for Superconduct, for one, but also, okay, I'm so curious why Mizuki is here, because she is not Cryo or Electro, for one. And I'm also confused why Eula is not here, because that is the one character in this game that actually makes use. Okay, the one like relevant character, let's say, that makes use of Superconduct, especially after they released this new Superconduct set that is coming out next patch. So I'm really confused why Mizuki is here instead of Eula, but like I don't really know I think this is pretty good in the sense that buffing older characters to fit with a potential new reaction that might be coming out, which I'm speculating based on the description of the new superconduct artifact set. But I think something, either physical is completely dead, and like this new superconductive reaction that might perhaps be coming out is in no way actually going to be related to physical, or Eula is slated for something completely different, which I am not entirely sure what. But it is kind of baffling to me that Eula is not here, and I think Hoyo fucking hates Eula. That's what I'm gonna say. That is like fucked up. Doesn't make sense in a business sense. Make things restrictive, earn more money because no choice but to pull. Yeah, I mean that's like, it's probably like a business decision thing, but it could also be a game. Like, you don't know, right? It's probably a business thing though. Stellar Swirl? Yeah, I'm just confused why they would add Stellar Swirl with like all the Electro and Cryo characters though. That's like a completely different thing. And also, if these are superconduct related, why wouldn't Eula be here? Okay, I'm not crazy, right? This is like superconduct related based on the amount of Cryo and Electro characters presented here. So it makes no sense to just put like a Swirl related character, which is what I'm confused about. Eula is just dead, bro. Give up the hopes and dream. No, man, Eula's not dead. She can't be. I swear Eula's pretty popular too, which is why I don't get it. And she's definitely not good. So that makes me think there's something coming in the future that will make her good. But like, it's pretty weird. I also don't know what they do. Some people are saying that this could be very minor buffs and it actually doesn't matter. I think if they're pointing it out like this, it's probably going to matter. I think the Hex and Circle buffs were pretty significant. But I mean, I guess you don't know, right? I saw that last night and like I just had to rant about it. It's just unbelievable to me that Eula was not included. There's a quest here? What the fuck? I'm expecting them to buff. I'm expecting them to let the 5 stars in here be able to do stellar reactions and the 4 stars buff stellar conduct. That would be a good compromise, I think. Like, I'm not crazy for thinking that's a good compromise, right? Like, I think, like, if you don't want to let 4 stars do all that, fine. But yeah, I think that's a fine compromise, in my opinion. I just don't know what the fuck Yume Mizuki's deal is. Why is she even there? Random kid? I don't get it. Whatever. And I'm really just confused why Eula's not there. Because then, this makes me just speculate then that Stellar Superconduct or whatever is coming out has nothing to do with physical. Which then makes me believe that physical is just completely dead. Because the one game, or the one reaction in this game that actually has to do with physical gets no attention. I like sort of get it though, because from a like balance perspective, making physical good is like sort of problematic. Because as far as I'm aware, there's no physical resistance in this game, is there? No, there is. No, there is. So I don't get why that's. I mean, I thought there wasn't because there's no physical damage in this game. But like, you know. It makes sense that Eula is not included. Genshin wants to kill off physical damage, the stupidest thing they've ever released. It's just, the whole thing with it is a little weird because physical, in a sense, it bypasses the entire reaction thing, which, yeah, I just ran into fucking everything like an idiot, but ignore that. It like sort of bypasses the reaction thing, but making physical playable only through superconduct, I feel like is a good compromise. So that, like, that part I don't understand even more. Because, okay, if you're afraid that physical is going to be too strong and too accessible because of like the fact that you don't have to rely on reactions for it, then like just tie it to superconduct and make it so that it's only good when you have superconduct. No, I think that's fine. But I mean, apparently they don't want to do that either. But also, like, why don't we just change Eula, or just buff Eula so that she doesn't have to deal with fucking physical anymore then? Just make her cryo. Should have made Eula an attack scaler? Well, I mean, she kind of is. It's just that physical has nothing. Like, Eula is an attack scaler, but she has nothing else. And the ratios on her kit are just so off. In like modern day. Like, even for an old character, they're pretty bad. And then you combine that with the fact that she has no support otherwise. Like, of course she's gonna be ass. Oh, wait, I have to... There we go. Stop with the Eula, she's gone. No, I don't. I refuse to believe it. We'll give her something soon. Yeah, I'm just coping. She's gotta be good one day though, right? There's no way they just forgot about her. Well, we'll see. Maybe Shneznaya has something else. Maybe physical is going to be insanely more broken than we would have ever imagined it to be. And we just don't know it yet. It's been mindlessly like yapping and exploring. I thought I finished the quest for this. Is he so slow? Off your socials by sorrow. Sorrow quest. Rare song quest. Hold on. See what you got. What type of genre of song this is considered? I feel like there's like a term for it. I don't know. I don't think this is like the type of music I normally listen to. This is like kind of catchy in like a weird way though. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Abuse song? No. I mean, it's a song for sure. I don't know, like... It's just not like music I listen to. So I guess it just... Like, I don't know if it's a bad song, but it's just not... Like, I'm just not used to it. I feel like it's like kind of a song that might grow on me a little though. Can't tell. It's like, okay, at first when I first listened to it, I had sort of a visceral reaction, but then like... It started catching a little bit. You know the best part about that now is that I'm gonna open my YouTube and then my recommended is gonna be filled with songs like that. That's like the best part, actually. Can't wait for that one. Dude, but I feel like I've heard music like that before. I just don't know what the genre for it is called. So it's kind of crazy to me that song has 4 million views. Yeah, as someone who primarily listens to like J-pop and K-pop, it's probably if you showed like a K-pop stan that song, they might have a heart attack. I'm just saying. Oh, it's goated. Like 200k minutes on YouTube. Oh, you know, like a few days ago, actually, there's like a thing that came out for it was like Spotify's 20 year or something like that. I don't remember exactly what. And I checked my thing, and the first song I ever listened to on Spotify was a song that I don't even remember. Like I don't even remember ever having heard this song. And it's just like some random EDM song. I really do listen to the most random shit ever. Dude, I wonder how many videos or like songs out there that I've watched or listened to that like I really liked, but I just don't remember anymore because I never saved it. Is that kind of tragic to think about? It's song listening. Yeah, we can call it that. Go. What is this, fucking snake? Kind of unfortunate I'm not playing for Nicole. I think Nicole's a character that a lot of people are gonna be pulling for. So I kind of wish that I did have plans to pull her. So like I could understand her better, I guess, but I don't think Nicole is a good addition to my account. Nor do I really like her to a level where I don't use Spotify. It's too expensive. Okay, if you have ad block on PC and you use Spotify, you can get rid of the ads for one. If you use like the Spotify web browser and you don't like ads. But also, okay, well that's all I got for you really. I think YouTube is better than Spotify. It's just Spotify's like layout for music is just more comfortable. And also I'm on a family plan because literally everybody else at home uses Spotify. So I was just asked if I wanted to be on it. So I was like, okay. So I guess I'm kind of lucky in that sense. But browser has lower sound quality? I guess. But I mean, if you want to think about it that way, like, Spotify web browser has better quality than YouTube web browser. But I mean, if you're not using YouTube, I guess it doesn't matter though. What's this chest? It's probably inside, huh? Are you using an Apple device? Like when I listen to music on my phone, I use Spotify. Like on my iPhone, yeah. But like when I'm on my PC, like when I'm listening to music on stream, I'm using. He's climbing this shit. Oh, wait, there's a chest in here I missed. How did I miss this? An app with no ads for YouTube for free? Ooh, dang. Would be that does sound pretty nice. I mean, I just use Spotify on my phone though, because it's convenient. I don't know how I used to like back when I used to go to school. Like, I used to be a cheap ass. Well, I still am, but like I did not feel like paying like my friends wanted to use a family plan for Spotify, and they were like, you should join us, but I didn't want to pay the $2 or whatever. So I was like, you know what, you guys can just do that, and I'll listen to Spotify with ads. Low-key, I don't really know what's wrong with me. But... About the app, let me know if you're using Apple. If I ever need it, I'll let you know. I missed the fucking particles. I don't really need it right now though, because I don't really watch YouTube on my phone. In general. It does sound nice though. Sounds like somewhere you can go in. I think. So it's a bit of a shorter stream, I think. Actually, before I go, let me turn these in. But I have stuff to do after this, so I have to go. It's fun yapping though. Yapping is unfortunately my favorite pastime, which is not painful for some people. 5-star? Never lucky. We're saving. And Eula is still not coming back. Eula will come back. She will. Right? They'll revive her. No, it makes a lot of sense why Risley wasn't on this Chronicled Wish banner anymore, considering he definitely should have been here. But I mean, I guess they're okay, but my issue with that is I really enjoyed how a lot of the older characters are relatively flexible, right? Like you could play Risley and Freeze, you could play him in Melt, but if his only good team ends up being like Super Conduct now, that's kind of lame. Like, I think it's good that you can have DPSs. You can play in multiple teams. Like, you could technically play Chlorinde and Aggravate, Quicken, and like Overload. You could play, you know, a lot of the Pyro characters. You just play Vapor Melt or Mono Pyro even. Like, I don't like this gradual transition into characters you can only play with one reaction. I think that's really boring. And then they just crank the power level up on these supports so that these teams just become insane, but I feel like Hoyo can only fit 5 characters. Is that even true? Wait. How many the Mondstadt Chronicle Wish had? But it's not even true because the Mondstadt Chronicled Wish had 6. That's not even true. As much as I'd like to say that's the case and they couldn't just fit Risley, I mean, just look at this. Like they had 6 here. So what's the deal, huh? What's the deal? I don't get it. Why does this one only have 5? Hello? Yeah, no, Beto was getting buffed. That's what. Well, I mean, this was after he got buffed, technically, so I guess it didn't matter. But like, maybe they're gonna, but like, they're not even gonna rerun him. Well, not that we know of yet. There's no way they're rerunning him next to Sandrone, right? That'd be the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Whatever, I don't know. There's too much speculation to be done at this point. All I know is Eula better get buffed within like the next year, otherwise there are gonna be some serious problems. We might have to boil Hoyo alive. He's not getting no rerun. He's going to the next Fontaine Chronicle. Yeah, next Fontaine Chronicle like 10 years from now. Have they ever repeated a Chronicle banner? I don't think they have. We've had one for every region at this point, right? I mean, I guess we're coming up on Natland soon. Eula is not getting buffed ever? You're just a hater. You're just a hater. Well, she doesn't. It is what it is. Is there anything else for me to do in this game before I go? I'll probably just. I still have to do the mission. Hope the Linnea instead. Okay. Now we're getting too lost in the sauce. One of the most broken characters in the world. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only thing I really have left in this game is finish exploring Temple of Space and like do the world quest, but that's for another time. I mean, you can do pull llama. Okay, you're asking a very light spender to pull C1 llama. As tempting as that sounds, I don't think I can be doing that. I only have 70 pulls that I have to be saving. So yeah, next Genshin stream is probably on Wednesday, same time like I normally stream, like in the morning for me. As much as I'd like to stream the update when it comes out, I just don't think I'll have enough energy like at fucking 11 p.m. at night to fucking stream the story. And also when I stream the next day, it gives people time to play the story too, so. Yeah, next Genshin stream on Wednesday morning probably, unless like I end up being busy. I don't know. I might stream like again before that. I don't know. I've been kind of fiending to play some like Overwatch or some like Apex or something on stream. Maybe I'll hit that before the next Genshin update. Llama is goated. Have you seen when Llama makes you indestructible? But I need more. I want more characters. Like I like Llama, but I don't like her that much. You know. Like the only characters I have a constellation on in this game that I pulled for are Yelan and Alakino. It's 1 a.m. for me right now. I have work tomorrow. Yo, work. I better fucking piss off then. Play Subnautica 2. Dude, I haven't played the first one. Low key, I'm kind of interested in playing the first Subnautica though. In like the future. But that's like that's a whole different story. I heard the okay, wait, isn't Subnautica 2 in early access also? So like the whole game's not even out yet. C2 R1 Llama and Nefer does 150k DPS on level 70 with level 20 weapons. Holy fuck. It's like how much. Okay, not even. My Llama Nefer team does like 120k. 130k. Fully optimized. Damn. Alright. I think I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll probably stream like again before Wednesday, or like Monday or Tuesday. But thank you guys for chilling and yapping with me. Thank you again for all the lurkers and the raid earlier. For Snowy and her viewers if she's still here. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. And so much cons and sig makes a difference. True. Investment is king in this game. But yeah. Stay safe. Take care. Don't die. Sorry for the bit of a short stream again, but hey, short stream better than no stream, right? But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys soon, I think. Thank you again for the raid, Snowy. I appreciate it a lot. That's credit card.